US President Joe Biden makes his first address. This is post-recovering from COVID-19 and dropping out of the presidential race. Biden calls his decision to step down a matter of democracy, endorsing Vice President Kamala Harris for the US presidential race, calling her tough. The president has said that saving our democracy was more important than any title. He's also gone on to say that he's decided the best way forward is to pass the torch to the new generation, to the next generation. That's the best way to unite our nation.
To tell you the truth, and the truth, the sacred cause of this country is larger than any one of us. And those of us who cherish that cause, cherish it so much, the cause of American democracy itself, must unite to protect it. You know, in recent weeks, it's become clear to me that I need to unite my party in this critical endeavor. I believe my record as president, my leadership in the world, my vision for America's future, all merited a second term. But nothing can come in the way of saving our democracy. That includes personal ambition. So I've decided the best way forward is to pass the torch to a new generation. That's the best way to unite our nation. You know, there is a time and a place for long years of experience in public life. There's also a time and a place for new voices, fresh voices, yes, younger voices. I've kept my commitment to appoint the first black woman to the Supreme Court of the United States of America. I also kept my commitment to have an administration that looks like America and be a president for all Americans. That's what I've done. I ran for president 4 years ago because I believed and still do that the soul of America was at stake. The very nature of who we are was at stake. And that's still the case. America's an idea. An idea stronger than any army, bigger than any ocean, more powerful than any dictator or tyrant. It's the most powerful idea in the history of the world. That idea is that we hold these truths to be self-evident. We're all created equal, endowed by our Creator with certain inalienable rights: life, liberty, pursuit of happiness. We've never fully lived up to it, to this sacred idea, but we've never walked away from it either. And I do not believe the American people will walk away from it now. In just a few months, the American people will choose the course of America's future. I made my choice. I've made my views known. I would like to thank our great Vice President Kamala Harris. She's experienced, she's tough, she's capable. She's been an incredible partner to me and a leader for our country.
Vishal, we just heard President Biden there passing on the torch, saying that he's ready to pass the torch on to the next generation, a newer generation, a younger generation, calling Kamala Harris tough and capable.
That is true. So it is interesting to note here that he started off his speech by listing out his accomplishments, that whatever he's done over the last 5 years, those are all pretty great accomplishments. He is listed out all these things in detail, and then he moved to the part where he said that he's stepping away to save democracy. He said things on those lines, but what he didn't do, that is to be noted here, what he didn't do is give out the reasons specifically as to why he is stepping aside. So the top 3 reasons that he was almost forced to step aside was: one of the reasons that he was trailing in the polls, the other one is that he had calls from within his own party to step aside, and there were several other factors as well, because Trump was racing ahead in the polls. There was almost negligible chance, almost a little chance that he would have survived this contest against Trump. So these are the main reasons why he had to step aside, but he did not obviously mention these things. He said that he's stepping away, he's trying to pass on the baton to the next generation. Of course, Harris is quite younger than him. She's 59, he's 81. She has that edge over him because young voters in the US were stepping away from Biden because they were not convinced that Biden was competent enough to lead them for the next 5 years. He had problems with his speech. He had struggled disastrously against Trump in the first presidential debate that was held on June 27th. So that was the inflection point. That was the day since when all the voters, almost all the young voters, all the Democratic voters, they sort of started, echoing that Biden needs to step away as the U.S. As the Democratic presidential candidate, and now it has come to Harris. She has not yet been officially nominated, but that is almost bound to happen when that happens in the next 7 to 8 days, when the Democratic Convention meets officially on August 19th, to be precise. That is when it is expected to happen.
Right.
So